Hello, everybody. How are you? After long Apex lessons, how do you feel now? It will be a bit hard session, maybe. We will try to solve the assignments that I shared with you. First of all, we will review the validations that we talked about yesterday. Then we will try to solve the assignments that I shared with you. So the assignment was difficult, so please don't get demotivated. Only you will try to understand. Later it will be okay for you. Before starting, I want to say that please don't lose your motivation because you are at the beginning of this Salesforce journey. I'm saying that always. This is like learning Chinese. If you want to learn Chinese, this is the alphabetic. Now you are learning the alphabetic. Apex is a bit boring because you don't know the result. You don't know what you will produce with this Apex because you are learning these alphabetics. So don't be in hurry. Only try to understand and focus on the sessions. I think it's from your side. I think our friends are motivated. You are hardworking and you are completing the sessions. The second thing I wanted to mention Flipgrids. Last night I watched your Flipgrids. It was very good experience for you. Thank you who recorded the Flipgrid and shared. In this Flipgrid, you need to think that these questions are coming from the interviewers. So you will try to answer like this. There will be questions like this. I think you will talk about these questions with Mukadder. So while you are answering this question, please try to think like this. Some of you talk about the course because you won't talk about the course, or some of you talk about your family details. No need to talk about this one. I watched Mohammed Bey's video. He was very good. He told always talk about the IT. He learned about the IT. Now he's focusing on Salesforce. So I couldn't remember his previous job, his previous profession. So you can pay attention on this part. Later, this is the beginning, no problem. Later, you will improve yourself and you will see the difference on them. But please try to record the Flipgrid. It is very important. If you are shy or if you cannot tell about yourself, this will be good chance for you. When we have time, we will try to watch, or our friends, your friends will try to watch this Flipgrid and comment on you. Whenever you want, you can finish, but please don't leave at the end of this course because it will be difficult at that time. Please try to share your Flipgrids. Thank you, Lokman. Lokman said that the second deadline for the second question is today. I gave the example, Mohammed Bey's record was very good. So I want to say one thing. There was a teacher, I couldn't remember the name, but she told that she was very busy in a stressful time and one of her friends was sick. So she need to help the students of her friend. It was good example. But you can tell like this. You can add some emotions. For example, you can say that, oh, I was very busy, very stressful time. It was catastrophic. Everywhere is burning. At that time, one of my friends got sick. So my manager told me that to cover the lessons of her, it was very, very difficult situation for me. But at that time, I thought that we are human beings, so I need to help her. After that, I decided to plan and schedule my program. I quit extra things, then I only focused on the schedule. Yeah, it was really bad, but I completed this thing very, very good. You can say something like this. Yes. Also, one of our friends said that she was started directly as a Salesforce admin. It was a good example. So it is not related with course. It is not related with your family. It is directly related with these interviews. I'm having this question right now. Okay, let's continue. So as I mentioned, it was good to start to record this video. At the end, you will take some comments, and at the end, you will have mock interviews. Then you will improve yourself. Really, you are talking about the formula or nightmare? Oh my God. So we can start. First of all, I want to ask you that what is the wrong with the formula? Okay, that's good. So okay, because if you need anything, we can talk about the formula now. Otherwise, I will repeat the yesterday's session. I will talk about the validation. Then I will try to solve some formulas with you. Esma says that will we talk about as a Salesforce admin or an IT guy? But it doesn't. It is not important. You can also talk about your previous jobs, but please don't mention so much about your previous jobs, because I remember that some of you are teachers. But as I mentioned, I don't remember the previous job of the Mohammed Bey, because he always talk about the IT. So you can mention your previous job. Then you will talk about why you choose the Salesforce. There will be a soft passage from your previous job to your IT career, how you started, what you did. After that, you will tell about your passion about the Salesforce, your passion about the IT side. It will be important. You can not more detail related with your family life. How many children? Where do you live? What do you do? You don't need to tell about this one. You will mention about your previous job, but only one sentence or two sentences. Then you will tell that why you chose IT, how you decided to learn about the Salesforce, and how do you like the Salesforce. It is love for me. I love Salesforce so much. I like to learn. I like to create value, something like this. Later, we will talk about this one. Only yesterday I watched your record, so I wanted to mention some comments on this one. It's good to start. It will be better. Yes, you will be a Salesforce worker or you will be a IT professional. You can talk about, because some of the friends said that, oh, I learned Python, I know some coding, something like this. Then I heard about the Salesforce, then I searched for about this one. As you can see, these all of these are related positions. So it is not important. I think it doesn't important. It is not important in US. They don't care about this one. They only want that how you can do this job or not. Why we are saying that don't mention so much about your previous profession, because they want to see the passion in your IT side, in IT profession. So you have limited time. In this limited time, focus on your IT professional side. Oh, okay, it can be. I don't remember. Nestan says that they said that the first question is not related with this interview part, but in the interview, there will be a question. The first question will be that, please tell me about yourself. The second question will be that, tell me about your Salesforce professional job or your projects. You will, yeah, as I mentioned, you will talk about your previous jobs, but just a little, then you will continue with IT and Salesforce. The important point is that you have to show that how do you like this Salesforce. You will show that you are on the correct way. You like Salesforce so much. You are happy to learn with Salesforce, and you created several things in Salesforce. You want to have a good career with Salesforce. So let's start. I want to ask you that one more question. Is there any problem related with this validation part, validation rules, why we are using the validation rules, and how we create the validation rules? Second, I lost Slack. Okay, here. So what do you remember related with validation rules? Why we are using these validation rules? I'm so sorry. I lost the channel. Okay, it's okay now. I'm still confusing about them. Okay, the first reason that we will use validation rules, we want to prevent our users to enter wrong type of data. Yes, that's good. The explanation is good. For example, yesterday I said that in Turkey, I will open the Excel again. I will open Excel again. I won't talk about on this PPT. These are the story. They are not so important. I only wanted to mention, and you have knowledge about related these options, these points. Now we will talk about the validation rule, why we are creating this validation rule, and how we will create these validation rules. Okay. So yesterday I said that I will give the same example again. It was important, postal code. In Turkey, the postal code is 5 digits and numbers. Okay, if you don't put any restriction on the fields, then user can enter everything. We want to see the correct data. For example, I want to ask you that if the postcode is like this, is it correct? Could the user enter data like this? No, because it is 4 digit. It is 4 digit. It is not correct. But I could enter this data. So you need to define some rules to prevent this one. Okay. So it was a real life scenario. As I mentioned, government requested this data, and when we download the data, we saw something like this in this postal code, and also there was email names in the postal code because they understood wrongly. If there was a restriction, if there was a rule at the beginning, think that I saw the postal code field and I want to enter this one, ali@gmail.com. What will happen at that time? What will happen at that time? It will give an error. This is for data accuracy. This is the first part. It is related with the data accuracy. So if you define some rules, if you say that this postal code will be 5 digits, this is the first rule. The second rule, this postal code will be numbers. This is the second rule. So when you write something like this, you cannot enter these values. You cannot enter these values, then data will be not 100% correct, but maybe 90% is correct. If it was the 90% correct, then it will be easy. It would be easy for us to correct the data. But all data was wrong, and we spent 5 days, and it was long time because we were talking with government. This part is important. On the other hand, yesterday I said that while we are creating a field, there is an email field type. Why we are choosing this one, why we don't choose the text directly, and why we are choosing the email, I think we talk about the differences between this email and text, especially Erkin Hoca talk about this one. So if you wish, you can choose text. But when you choose the text, you can write something like this. Okay, but you know that this is not an email. There cannot be, you are sure, 100% sure that there cannot be any email like this. So if you choose an email format, then when you enter something like this, it will give an error. So you need to check this part and you will write like this. I'm not sure if this email is correct or not. But at the beginning, the format is correct, but this is totally wrong. This is totally wrong. So you need to define some validation rules. But while you are choosing the field format, field type, for example, when you choose email, you don't write any validation rule because it is standard. It will directly check that if the format is email or not. Okay. So This is the first reason we are using the validation rules, because you will see that our business people will be working in a hurry hours, in a hurry times, sometimes stressful times. It is very normal that while they are reading this postal code, they can understand this one as a email, something like this, so they can enter the wrong things. So at the beginning, we want to define something, we want to put some rules to make this correct. It is not related with the email. On the other hand, this is the first part, that this is the making the data correct, taking the correct data from the business side. This is the first part. The second part, in my business, think that I am working on an opportunity, and I worked on this one, I called the opportunity, I did everything, at the end I will close this one. Okay, but in my business, I want to see that if I close any opportunity, if the stage is closed won, so I need the date, the closing date. It is very important for my business. So what will happen if you don't define any rule? The user can change the status. I will open the system. I will show it that part. I will show. Let's continue just a second. Which one? Opportunity. One is making the data, taking the correct data. The other thing is directly related with the business. I will repeat again, in Salesforce, in IT, and in business, data is very, very important. Everything is data. You need to follow your customers with data. You will have interaction with the government with correct data. You have to follow the correct customers. For example, think that you are recording gender of your customers. You don't care about that. Think that your customer is Jane, she's female, but at the beginning you choose Mr. But later you will send promotion or advertisement emails to this customer, and the system will think that this is a male. So what will happen? You will send some male products, male pants, male shirts to this guy. So it is wrong. While you are doing the advertisement, it is wrong. So at the beginning, you need to keep this one correct. Yes, she's going to report you as a spam. Yes, and it is not important reporting you as a spam. We are in competition. Time is very important, and think that always you are sending something related with female to me, it will be boring for me. Then I will say that I don't want to see your messages. And at the second time, you cannot send any message to me. There are several examples. One is related with government. One is related with the promotion that you will want to do the customer. So for this reason, we want to write some rules, and we want to control the system, because we don't want to leave anything to the user. Do you remember from the formula field? I said that in the system, there are the username, first name, and last name. So I need the full name. What can I do? I can say that user, okay, user, enter the third field, and the third field will be this one. This is time losing. You will lose time. The first reason one, we don't need to say the user to enter this one, because I know that I have these fields. I can create these fields by formula. This is the important part. And if it is possible, I will keep my system do something automatically, not manually. Manually means that every time you can do something wrong. Yes, we can combine them. So should I say that user that enter this full name manually? I won't say this one, because think that while he was entering this mail, she will write, he or she will write like this. Yes, like concatenation. Think that she can, because she will be busy, or he will be busy. So think that he write like something like this. It will be wrong. Or think that he write the name like this, Mrs. Ali Alka, not the correct name. So I wanted to keep the system automatic. I want to do everything automatic. One, the reason to make the correct data. The second reason, I must be faster. This is the time losing. Enter this one, enter this one, enter this one, do some calculation, enter this one. Think that you will create one customer, you will spend 10 minutes for this one. If you do automation, it will take only 2 minutes. So which one is prefer? Which one will you prefer? The reason that we are using the formula and we are using the validation rules. Not manually, of course. Is it clear for you why we are using the formula and why we are using the validation rules? One is data accuracy, the second one for my business. I will open my system. I will show you one more thing. Just a second, I'm checking. Okay. Okay, now pay attention. I will show you. In my business, it is mandatory. I need this one. While you are changing this stage, when you make this stage close one, I wanted to see close dates, or I wanted to see, what can I say, that the order number is very important for me. I want you to not to leave this order number empty. Think from your real life. As a teacher, as a IT professional, it doesn't important. You can do mistakes. Every time you can do mistakes. Sometimes we do mistakes that I do mistakes that I did several times. Several times I did this one correct, but sometimes I do wrong. For example, I'm in a hurry. I change this stage to close one, and I can write and I can save this opportunity without the order number. Okay. So later, 1 month later, I want to analyze the order numbers and the order details of my opportunities. For example, think that this is the closed lost. Okay. Later, I need to analyze this one. Why I lost this opportunity? Why I couldn't convert this to the account? Later, we will do some analysis in the system or in the company. At that time, think that I need that the order number or some fields I need. For example, I need expected revenue. So I will decide that how many salary I lost with this opportunity. If you leave empty this part, amount, then later while I was trying to analyze, I couldn't decide that how was this opportunity was important for me or not. And it is possible for me to save this like this. I can save this without amount, but in my business, I need this amount. When I need at the beginning, because yesterday there was a question. So if you need this amount, you can make this field required, then you cannot save this opportunity without amount. But in my business, I need this amount only when I close this stage. For example, when it is in this part, perception analysis, or in somewhere in needs analysis part, I don't need this amount in my business. So at the beginning, if you define this as required, you cannot save this one. So this is the wrong in my business. I want to make this amount not empty only when this is closed lost. Okay, so for this reason, I cannot use the required field. So for this reason, but it is very important for me. I don't want to leave the user, leave this field empty. So what can I do for this one? How can I solve this issue? If you don't define any checkpoints behind the system, the user can save this without amount. But I am saying that amount is very, very important for me when I analyze this opportunity, because later I will take business decisions depending on this amount. So at this point, I need to define some rules. In this rule, I will say that, and in this rule, I will use the formula functions. And I will say that if this stage is closed lost, okay, you cannot leave this part empty. You can use the validations across the fields. You can write a validation rules depending on both of them, or you can check with one validation rule this part, and you can check with another validation rule with the other parts. So now I know the business, I know the needs, and as an admin, I will apply this rule at the backend side. You can have one-to-one or one-to-many. One-to-many is this. For example, I will write a validation rule, and this rule will check this stage, and this rule check amount, both of them. Is there any problem, or is this clear for you why I will use the validation rule? What is my purpose for this validation rule? Yes, if I create a rule, it will reflect every record. It will reflect affect every record. Rule name, I didn't define yet, Shinasi. I will define, but now only I'm trying to explain what I need. Why I need this one. I need this one because in my business, it is very important. They mustn't leave this amount if it is closed lost. So you got the point. You got the logic. Now, this request or this need came from the business. They said that, hey, admin, hey, Ali, I don't want to any user, because in the company, there will be experienced user, there will be newbies, sometimes they will be busy, their mind will be crowded. So I don't want to leave this kind of to the people. I want to do everything with the system. Okay. So what I will do now, you got the need from the business. Now you will write a function, a formula. As an admin, you will go to the setup page. On the setup page, we will write a function for a validation rule for this one. Yes, I am working on the opportunity object. I want to affect on the opportunity object. So I will go to the setup page and I will choose the opportunity. No, not the TP order, because this case is related with opportunity. In TP part, there can be some additional stories. I'm on the sales application, but I will go to the opportunity object. So behind at the object manager or setup page, I will go to the which one? Opportunity. I will search for opportunity. The previous examples was business. Now we are in IT side. As an admin, we will try to help our users. We will find solutions for our users. We need to make their job easier and faster. So I found the opportunity object. On the opportunity object, at the bottom, there is a validation rules. I will choose this one and I will create a new function. Before starting, what I will do, before writing the function formula, I will decide that what I am trying to check. I want to check both of them, not any of them. I need to check both of them. If it is the close lost, okay, and these cannot be empty. And this is the good. So this part is important. Pay attention. What I will wait from my function. What will be the result from my function to give the error message? I will say that at the backend, at the setup page, if the amount field is blank and validation rule is admin part, but you can write in the developer part more complex things. In this part, maybe it can be limited. In the admin part, maybe you can write more complex things. For example, I think you learned in Apex how to check the correct password. We don't have this option maybe in the, we have, but it will be difficult for in the admin part. You will define in Apex side. So if the amount is empty and if the clause lost is, this stage is clause lost, I want to give an error. You cannot leave this page like this. So at the backend side, I will write an opportunity. The name, this is the name, amount. And I'm looking for the true result. In this true result, if the amount is blank, I'm saying as a word, but then I will write the function. And if the stage is closed, and if the stage is closed, then I will write here, I will use the AND function. I will check two conditions. I will check two conditions. The first one, if the amount field is blank. So which function I will use for this condition? Is peak while or is blank? There are two answers, is peak while or is blank. Why is blank? Is blank the correct one? Because I use is peak while. I use is peak while because if it is the peak list, as you can see, this is not peak list. I will show you the stage is peak list, but as you can see, the amount is not peak list. For the amount one, I will use is blank. I will use is blank. Then for this part, I need to choose amount. Let's continue. I will choose the amount. Okay. As you can see, I wrote the first condition. Now I will write the second condition. Second condition is that if the stage is closed lost. As you can see, this is a peak list. So for peak list, I will use is peak while. I will use is peak while. And in is peak while, which field I will check? The field will be stage. So I will enter the stage. Please only follow with me. After that, I will give a time to complete this one. And in this part, I am checking that I am looking for which one? Close lost. It is case sensitive, so I have to care about the value inside the pick list. I need to take about closed lost. So this is my formula. This is my formula. Check that in the AND function, I will repeat this part again. In the AND function, if I want to see the result true, what must be? Both all options must be true or false. I am in the AND function, and you remember that in the AND function, the first condition is that amount blank. Blank. The second condition is stage is closed. Stage is closed lost. So in my record, I'm trying to find the true result. If the result is true, then I will give the error message. To make the result true in the AND function, both of them must be true. Both of them must be true. Okay, let's check my example. Let's check my example. Is this blank amount, is this true? Is this part is true? Yes, this is true. Is this stage is closed lost? Yes, this is true. So both of them true. So the result will be true. It is clear. So I need to show a message. Let me show you one more thing, then I will continue. Let me show you one more thing. if in the amount there was a value like this, should I show any message to user? No, because everything is okay. There isn't anything wrong in the system. I was waiting this one. My expectation was this one. So at that time, I don't need to show any message. But if it is empty, it is wrong in my business. I don't want to see any amount empty with the close lost. So at that time, I want to send a warning to user. Did you get to my point? If I say that if there is value inside this one, then when I came here, the first condition is false because it is not empty. The second condition is true, and the result is false. For false, I don't need to write any. False means that related with only my function. So for this reason, I don't need to write any message. But I will delete this one. This was an example. I will delete this one. I want to say the user, please don't leave empty the amount. There is a question, one of our friends asking that why we are needing the amount. Later, 2 months later, I will do an analyze which kind of customers I lost, because if this is the $1 million customer, it was very important for me. In the business, we don't do this. We are the IT colleagues, but the business colleagues will analyze the data. They will say that, okay, we lost these kind of customers because of the bad service, bad support, or bad product, something like this. They will define the reason. Then they will analyze this one and they will take some actions. They will say that, okay, we need to add some support people in our team, or we need to provide some VIP support employee. I guess I'm a business colleague. Yes. So I need some VIP person, because think that if I lost someone with $1 million, I lost someone with $1 million. The reason is that I couldn't answer the questions of this customer at the right time fastly. So I lost this one. Think that if I had a VIP sales representative or VIP support team, then maybe I won't lose this time. What I am doing, 2 months later, I will download the data, I will analyze the data, and I will try to find some reasons why I lost these customers. But I will have a group in the customers. I don't care about if the customer amount is 1,000. It doesn't matter. I don't want to lose any time with this customer. But $1 million is, it's very, very important. So I have to focus on this customer. This is a business scenario. Maybe the logic is not correct. Maybe it's something like this. But as a business, my user said that please don't leave the amount empty if it is close lost. So it is business need. You cannot say that why you are saying why it is important for you. If the business say that, create something, some validation rules, and anyone cannot save this record. So we can write the rules. That's okay. So let's go to the system again. I wrote is blank. I checked the field and I said the is pick while. That's okay. Now I will write the message. I will write the message. You cannot leave amount empty when you close opportunity. Zeliha, you can use if function. If you use if function, you will do right same things, and at the end you will write comma true, comma false. But I don't need to write this one. This is okay for me because I am checking for true or false result. Stage name is closed, lost. Mesude, your code is wrong, I think. because you didn't use if, you use directly speak while, so it can be wrong. So what will happen if I write a validation rule? It will check for every time when you, not only for this record, whenever you save any data related with opportunity, because I work on opportunity object, whenever you save any data, it will check this field. Every time it will check. This is the first one. Whenever I save a new record, if I edit the existing one, at that time, the rule will execute again and will check that. I will show you this one. So I will save this one. I wrote the message. Yesterday, I explained that if you wish, you can show the message at the top of the page, or you can show on the field. I want to show on the amount field. The message will directly come on the amount field. So I will save this one. Then I will go to my page, opportunity page, this card, I will save. And then I will go inside this field, this record. And in this part, where is it? Always going, sorry, let's go to the accounts. Oh, sorry, because I'm always clicking the account name. I need to go to the opportunity name. I'm on the opportunity name. What I will do, I will edit some places. For example, I will edit this part. I will edit this part. I will write 18. If I save this one, what will happen? Because I said that you cannot leave empty the amount. Let's say directly I saw the message and the message is here. You cannot leave amount empty when you close opportunity. Let's try some value. Okay. Let's save this one again. Now I can save this one. So I will highlight again, when you create a new record or when you edit any existing record, the rule will execute. Is there any problem? Is it clear for you why I am using the validation rule, why it is important for me, and how I can create validation rule? So is there anyone who couldn't create with me? Please try to create this validation rule and check that the result, then we will continue. Because I can be a bit faster, I need to try to explain, but now we can wait for others. So now you learned that without, we didn't use if, okay, but if you wish, you can use if, but if you use if, it means that you will add if and you will add additional things in this part. I think we don't need to, because we need to keep this one as simple as we could. So this is the function that I will check. This part is important. It writes here that it must be true. The result must be true. And this is the message. And this is the location where you will show this message. As you can see, the message was on the amount part. I will show you again. When I try to save, as you can see, this is the error on the amount, but the message is here. If I choose the top, then the message will be here. It depends on you, how you wish. So I'm waiting all of you to complete this one. And meanwhile, I will ask you that, is there any question? I will try. Berfin asked that she wants to check the close date. If you wish, you can add in this validation rule. Otherwise, you can add to another validation rule. You can create how many validation rule you want. Okay, message. You can write whatever you want. Where is it? Here. This is the message. You can write whatever you want. I will show you, Ayhan, on the stage part. On the stage part, if you click this one, there will be some other options. Then you can choose close lost on the stage part. Close lost and close one. So I will give a break. Is there any question? Is there any problem? Finally, I want to say that this part is important. Why I am weighting this result as a true? Because in my example, I wanted to see that if the amount is blank, if the amount is blank, and if the stage name is close lost. So if both of them are true, then give this message. Shinasi, could you please share the code that, okay, please check the syntax first of all. We didn't do this one, check the syntax. You will see the error. As you on, if you check my, if you pay attention on my screen, if you say check syntax, then it will be. Could you please share the error? Did you check syntax? Formula? Zeliha, I opened the formula. Formula is on this part. Okay, I will explain when we use is blank and is pick list, is pick file. On the amount side, on the amount field, I was checking if it is blank or not. On the amount, I was checking if it is blank or not. So I use is blank function. But in this part, I don't want to check that if the stage is blank or not. What I want to do, I wanted to check that if it is close lost. This is different because in this part I am checking that if it is empty or not, but in this part, where is it? I am checking that close lost. So I don't need to check that if it is empty or not. I only want to check this value. This is the first one. The second step is that think that this is a pick list. In the pick list, the type is pick list. Pick list means that you can choose from any value. So if it is close lost, so if you want to check the value inside this pick list, so you need to use is pick while. I will show you again. This is the is blank function, and this is the is pick while function. In this is pick while function, I check that if it is closed lost. That's okay. So 10 minutes break. Later, we will continue to solve some problems, some assignment related with formula part. Is there any question? Is it clear? That's good. So 10 minutes break. After 10 minutes, we will continue with our assignment. Yes, if the amount is closed, you cannot, if the amount is empty, you cannot close lost this one. Yes, you are right. And at that time, you want to show a message to the user.